With the release of HarmonyOS Next, we see that the HarmonyOS ecosystem has actually taken off, and there are a lot of applications in the domestic market. But what about the overseas situation? Can the overseas market be expanded? HarmonyOS actually has a new version called Oriole overseas, and just a couple of days ago in Europe.
In Germany, they held a meeting with European organizations, big names, showed interest in open source Harmony. An independent Harmony OS version for overseas is expected soon. This expansion is a huge opportunity for domestic developers, similar to how Android, iOS, and Windows started. From what I understand, they already have a version of Hongmeng that is independent of the domestic version and has been launched. I believe this.
HarmonyOS's expansion is a huge opportunity for domestic developers, similar to how Android, iOS, and Windows ecosystems were built by their own country's developers. As companies globalize, domestic apps can gain exposure. Being among the first apps showcased overseas as HarmonyOS expands, ecosystem companies and developers entering now will have an advantage. OpenHarmony will expand overseas soon, focusing on smartphones and other devices. As companies globalize, domestic apps gain exposure. OpenHarmony will expand overseas. Whether they develop a HarmonyOS version depends on hardware popularity.
It will gain significant exposure. As mentioned, OpenHarmony won't be limited to the domestic market and will expand overseas. HarmonyOS is mainly about smartphones. Will other manufacturers adopt it and promote OpenHarmony on other devices? Domestic manufacturers should use it soon. Huawei phones might still face sanctions abroad, but if other brands sell well, will they develop apps like Facebook and YouTube? Whether they develop a HarmonyOS version depends on hardware popularity. If Huawei's phones sell well overseas, even without adaptations from Facebook or YouTube, third-party developers will step in.
Smartphone makers. In the near future, there will be smartphone makers on HarmonyOS. Huawei phones might still be affected by sanctions abroad, but if other brands start selling well, will they develop applications, especially mainstream communication apps like Facebook and YouTube? It depends on the popularity of the hardware. If Huawei's phones are selling well and have a large user base overseas, then Facebook, YouTube, and others haven't made adaptations. There will still be third-party developers making solutions for users. When market penetration hits 20%, these major manufacturers will notice this market. It's just a matter of time.
Huawei's mobile phones, if they sell well, have a huge number of users overseas. I believe that even if Facebook, YouTube, etc., don't make some adaptations, I believe there are third-party developers. They will create some devices for users to start using once their smartphones reach a penetration rate of around 20%. I believe these major manufacturers won't ignore this market. I think it's just a matter of time.
We still believe that they should be able to take this step. Finally, don't forget to like and follow Teacher Xia.